Hello everyone, welcome to day 4 of Java Programming Bootcamp powered by EdSpread. Let's get started. And I hope that you guys did the homework questions given in the PPT. So, please type yes in the chat box if you did. And now let's discuss those three homework questions. So, the first question is to check whether the number is odd or even. So, let's open the Eclipse and let's create a new Java project. And name our Java project as day 4 and make sure you use this default JRE method and let's click on finish. And I'm not creating a module, so here our package is created but nothing is there in the source folder, so we have to create a package here. So right click on source, select new and then package, and day 4 this is the default, and let's finish. And here a package is created, but if we double click on package, nothing is being displayed, so we have to create a class to write some code. So that's why we are clicking on double clicking on package and right clicking on package and selecting new. Then we are selecting a class that is day 4 underscore homework 1. Make sure that the first letter of class name is a capital letter, that is an uppercase letter, and make sure to include this public static void main method and click on finish. So here our day 4's package is created and this is our class day 4 homework 1, and this is the public static void main method, and here we will write some code. The question is to check whether the number is odd or even. So first, to take the input, we are going to import the scanner class which is available in the util package, that is import java.util.scanner. Make sure that scanner's S is a capital letter, that is an uppercase letter. Now let's create an object of scanner class, that is scanner input is equals to new scanner system.in. That is the input. And now let's declare a variable of integer data type, that is int num is equals to input dot next int, and next int is a method which is available in the scanner class to take the input. And before that, let's display something. Sys out enter a number, and now here comes our main logic. So before writing the main logic, let's come to a question like, when can we say a number is even? So we can say a number is even when it is perfectly divisible by 2, and when the number is perfectly divisible by 2, here we are going to use the percent symbol, that is the modulus operator, which is on the screen, which is highlighted now, to check whether the number is divisible by 2 or not, that is even or not. So if the number is divisible by 2, that is if the number is even, and if the remainder is 0, the number is even, and if the remainder is not 0, the number is an odd number. So let's write here, if number mod 2 equal to 0, that is if number is 0, we are printing out the given number is an even number, and in the else part we are printing the given number is an odd number, that is if the remainder is 0, it is even, and if it is not 0, if it is evaluated to be a false, then this only will be printed, that is the else part will be printed. So now let's execute our program. So it's asking to enter a number, and let's say 9, that is enter. The number is an odd number because remainder is non-zero, that is remainder is 1. And let's execute again and let's check. Let's type an even number, that is 8. Now press enter, and here the given number is an even number is being printed. So a modulus operator, is denoted by the percentage symbol, and it is also an arithmetic operator, and it uses to like return the it uses to it, like it is used to return the remainder of an integer division. So let's go to the second question, that is, so here we need to write a program. In the second question, we need to write a program to calculate the parking charges of a vehicle. So first we need to enter the type of vehicle as a character, that is like C for car and B for bus, etc. And number of hours of the number of hours that vehicle owner has to park there, like wants to park there. And then we have to calculate the charges as given below, that is truck or bus, that is 20 rupees per hour, and car is 10 rupees per hour, and scooter or cycle or motorcycle is 5 rupees per hour. So let's get started. First let's create a new class, that is right click on package, select new, then class, and day 4 underscore homework 2, and make sure that the class name's first letter is an uppercase letter, and make sure that you select this public static void main method and click on finish. So here our class is created day 4 homework 2, that is, and in package day 4, and here we are going to write the main code. So first let's write down the parking fares in hours, that is for each vehicle. Car, that is 10 rupees, bus or truck, that is 20 rupees, and scooter or cycle, that is 5 rupees per hour. So first let's import the scanner class, which is available in the util package, to take the input. And make sure that scanner's S is a capital letter, that is an uppercase letter. And now let's create an object. This is the object name, input is the object name, and with the help of new keyword we are creating an object. And system.in is input. And now let's declare a string variable of vehicle name, input dot next line, that is a method available in scanner class, which is available in util package, to take inputs from a string. And now let's create, and before that let's type this here. Enter the vehicle, and now here we are declaring another variable hours of integer data type, that is hours is equals to input dot next int, which is a method available in scanner class of util package to take the input from an integer. So let's type here so now here comes the main logic, that is, and before that let's write here in brackets that he has to enter only a character, that is C or bus or truck or scooter or cycle. And now we have to compare, like suppose if the user entered C, that is car, so it has to give the parking fare, like, and number of hours is supposed 2. So car's fare is 10 rupees, so 10 into 2, that is 20 rupees he has to pay, like that. And suppose if the person enters something like hi or bye, and the and we may give, like, we may print like enter the correct vehicle name or something like that. And to compare the strings, that is, we are using compare the input, that is vehicle and c, or compare the or to compare we are using dot equals method, which is available. So first we will write a condition, that is if, that is vehicle dot equals, that is, this is the method, and c, if it is equal to c, what we are doing, we are printing on the screen, that is fare for specific, like, is, that is the number of hours into fare, that is HRS hours into fare, is fare for car is 10 rupees. So that's it. And now if we try to execute this, it is asking enter the vehicle, that is car, bus, truck, scooter or cycle, and I am typing car, that is C. Enter number of hours, it's asking enter number of hours, let's type 3, that is fare for 3 hours is 30 rupees, that is 10 into 3, 30 rupees. And suppose if we enter, like, let's execute this again, and let's type B, that is bus. We didn't write the condition, so it won't be executed. So that is enter the number of hours, let's say 7. Nothing is being executed because we didn't write the condition, that is the else part and else if part. So let's write that part now. So here we are writing the else if part, that is else if vehicle dot equals B, that is bus, or vehicle dot equals T, that is truck. If vehicle is equal to B or vehicle is equal to 3, I mean vehicle is equal to B or vehicle equal to T, that means we are going to print here something. In our case it is the parking charges. So let's print out fare for hours plus hours into, that is the fare, that is 20. For bus or truck it is 20. So now let's execute this again, it is control F11, and let's increase this. So enter the vehicle, that is bus, number of hours, that is 2, that is 40 should be printed, fare for 2 hours is 40, yes. So now let's execute it again, and let's try for truck, and that is T, 2, fare for 2 hours is 40 for T, yes. And suppose if we execute scooter or cycle, that is S, number of hours is 3, and nothing is being printed. So we have to write the condition for that, and let's write this. Else if vehicle dot equals scooter, that is S, or vehicle dot equals cycle. If vehicle equal to S or vehicle equal to cycle, what we have to print something here, that is fare for hours is, that is hours into the fare for bike, or I mean fare for scooter or cycle, that is 5 rupees. And now let's execute the program and let's enlarge this so that we can see. And suppose if I type here cycle and 2 hours, 10 should be printed. Fare for 2 hours is 10, that is 5 rupees into 2 hours, that is 10 rupees. And let's execute this once again and let's try for scooter, that is S, number for hours 2, that is fare for 2 hours is 10 is being printed. So now let's write the else part. Suppose if the user types something like hi or bye, something except these letters, that is C, B, T, S or cycle, we need to print some message, right? Suppose if we don't do, what is happening here is, let's execute and show. So that suppose if I type hi, number of hours, it's asking. Suppose if I type 8 and if I execute, nothing is being printed. So we have to write the else part to display something. So else, what we are doing is, please make sure your to type a valid vehicle, something like this. And now let's execute this. And suppose if I type hi, before that let's try for all the cases, that is from C, that is car, that is number of hours, let's say 2, cars fare is 10 rupees, that is 10 rupees per hour, that is 10 into 2 is 20. Now let's try for bus, that is 20 rupees is the fare, so 2 2s are 40, that is 2 into 20, that is 40. Let's try for truck, same thing, T and 2 hours, that is 40. And let's try for scooter 2, that is 10, that is 5 into 2 is 10. And let's try for cycle, and number of hours is also 2. 2 hours is 10, that is 5 into 2, 5 is the fare and 2 is the number of hours, that is 10. And now let's suppose if I type hi here and number of hours, if I give something like 45, and now it's prompting like please make sure to type a valid vehicle. So this is our program. And now let's go to the next program, that is we need to write a program, that is the final program, that is we need to write a program that declares an integer named day whose value represents day, that is 1 to 7. Here we can use this if else if statements, or we can use the switch. But if you use the switch, it like our code looks neat, so that's why, and it looks clear also, so that's why we are going to use a switch statement here. And the code displays the name of the day based on the value of the day, that is suppose if I type 3, that is Wednesday, 5 is Friday. So using the switch statement we have to do this. For example, when the user types 6, Saturday should be printed. So let's get started with that. So let's open Eclipse and let's drag our console here. That is first let's close our console. And let's create a new class, that is right click on the package day4, select new, then create a class, and day4 underscore homework 3, and make sure that the first letter of the class name is a capital letter, that is an uppercase letter, and make sure to include this public static void main method and click on finish. So here are day4 homework 3 classes created and in the package day4, and we are going to write our code here. So first let's import the scanner class, that is which is available in the util package. Import java.util.scanner and make sure that scanner says is a capital letter. And now let's create an object, that is scanner input is the object's name, and we are using the new key, like we are taking the help of a new keyword, and scanner, and we are passing system.in, that is input. So as we know that the switch statement works on cases, first we are declaring a variable int day I mean the variable day of integer data type, and we are taking the input that is object name dot nextInt method, which is method name, which is the input that is the object name, and nextInt is a method name which is available in the scanner class of util package. And before that, let's type here something, enter the number. Okay, and now we will declare another variable of string data type, that is day name. And now let's keep switching on the day, that is switch day. And now first let's write the case 1, that is if it is 1, let's say Monday, that is day name is equals to Monday. And let's take the help of break statement and break this. And same with the case 2, that is case 2, and if the day name is Tuesday, and we are taking the help of the break statement to come out of this switch block. And case 3, that is day name is equals to Wednesday, and we are breaking. Same with case 4, that is day name is equals to Thursday, and we are taking the help of break keyword. And case 5, that is day name is Friday, and we are taking the help of break keyword to exit from the switch construct, that is the switch block. Case 6 is the day name is equals to Saturday, and we are taking the help of break keyword. And let's say case 7, and day name is Sunday, and we are breaking it. And now suppose if I want to type, like there are only 7 days in a week, and suppose if I type 8 or 10, then there is no day. So for that we need to have a default case, that is default day name is equals to check your input, or let's say there are 7 days in a week, or only 7 days in a week, and let's break this. Now if I execute this, and it will ask the input. Let's try this. Let's execute this again, but nothing will be printed here, because enter the number, that is if I type 3, nothing is being printed, because we need to print out the value outside the switch block, that is system.out.println, that is the day name. And let's execute it once again, that is enter the number, let's say 8. There are only 7 days a week because it's executing. So suppose if I type 2, Tuesday should be printed. So this is our program, this is the final homework program. So let's get started with loops. So in programming, a loop is an important concept that will allow a programmer to iterate or repeat the sequence of statements. So the most common use of loop is to perform some repetitive tasks. That is, for example, like if you want to spam your friend hi for like 100 or 500 times, it kind of gets difficult to write hi and hi for 100 or 500 times, and is time consuming. So now you may be like, I'll just copy and I'll paste it, but again, that is also kind of time consuming and annoying. So that's why, and if you know the concept of loops, you can just do it, like you can just do the spam in like 30 seconds or less by using a single statement and a condition. So now a loop is designed to execute a block till the specified condition is true. And now there are three types of loops in Java, like for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So let's discuss about them in detail. So first let's discuss about while loop, and in while loop what happens is like we give a condition first, and while loop runs until that condition is satisfied. But you may be like, what if the condition is not satisfied? When the condition is not satisfied, the while loop won't get executed. And now let's go to the do while loop. Do while loop is like first, like it executes at least once before checking the condition, like, and then goes to the while loop. And for loop, the for loop is like the for loop is used to iterate as part of a program for several times. Like if you want to print the numbers from 1 to 100, you can use for loop. Like we can use the, like if the number of iterations are fixed, we can use the for loop. Now let's discuss about the syntax of all these three loops. That is, first the syntax of while loop. And here the while loop first, it it gets executed only if the condition is true. Suppose if the condition is false, the whole while loop does not get executed. I mean, like the control won't be going in the while block. And when coming to do while loop, first it will do something and then it will go to the while condition. And in do while loop, the code will be executed at least once in loop. Whereas in while loop, if the condition is true, then only it will get executed. When the condition is false, it won't get executed. And like I said earlier, that for loop is used to iterate a part of a program for several times. That is, first we'll initialize the statement, and then we'll check the condition, and then we'll update. And update here means increment or decrement. So now let's discuss the first problem on loops, that is printing the first 10 natural numbers. So let's get started. So right click, so let's create a new class, and for that let's right click on day 4, that is right click on day 4 wala package and select new, then select class, and let's say day 4 underscore question 1, and make sure that the first letter of the class name is a capital letter, that is an uppercase letter, and let's not forget to include the public static void main method and click on finish. So here our class is created with the name day 4 q underscore question 1, and we are printing the first 10 natural numbers. And now for that we have to take, first let's do with for loop. It is for bracket int I is equals to 0 and I is equals to 1, let's say I is equals to 1 and I less than 11, you can say I less than 11 or I less than or equal to 10, that includes 10 also. So and I plus plus, that is we are incrementing by 1, and let's say let's print out I, and let's execute this. So the first 10 natural numbers, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, are being printed. Now let's do the same program by taking the input from the user, that is let's import the scanner class from the Java util package which is available in Java. So import java.util.scanner and make sure that scanner's S is a capital letter. And now we imported the scanner class which is available in the util package of Java. So now let's comment these everything out, and let's comment this also, and now let's write our fresh code here. First we have to create an object, that is scanner input, that is object name is equals to new keyword scanner of system.in, that is input. And now let's declare a variable n of int data type, that is integer data type, is equals to input, that is object name dot next int, that is which is a method. A next int is a method available in the scanner class of util package in Java to take the input of an integer from the user. And before that let's type this, enter the value of n, and let's say now let's run our for loop for int I is equals to 0. You can start from 0 or 1, it is up to you. I'll show you both the cases. Int I is equals to 0, I less than or equal to n, and we are incrementing by 1, I plus plus. And now let's print out the value of I, and let's say control F11, execute. So if I want to execute the value of like if I want to print the first 20 natural numbers, so I'll type 20, that is from 0 it is being printed till 20, that is 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 till 20. Suppose if I don't want 0, you can just start from 1 and let's execute. And again, let's say we want to print in 20, that is from 1 to 20, and if you want to start from 5, that is 5, and let's execute again. And 3, that is nothing is being printed. So nothing is being printed because we initialized I as 5 and now it is 3. And here I is less than n, that is I is 5, 5 is less than 3. No, that is false. So let's execute this again, and let's say 9. 5 to 9, the range between 5 to 9 is being printed inclusive. So let's move on to the second question, that is printing the natural numbers from 1 to n using while loop. So let's create a new class, that is right click on package, select new and click on class, and let's name our class as day4 underscore question 2, and make sure that the first letter of your class name is a capital letter, that is an uppercase letter, and make sure to include this public static void main method, and let's click on finish. So our class is created with the name day4 underscore question 2, and let's write our code here. That is natural numbers from 1 to n. So let's declare a variable, that is int, let's declare a variable I of integer data type, that is int I is equals to 0. Let's initialize I to 0, and let's declare another variable n of integer data type, and let's initialize it as 10. And now let's write our while loop condition, that is while I is less than or equal to n, we are printing out I, and we have to increment I with 1, like I plus plus, and let's execute the program. So here first natural numbers from 0 to n are printed because I initialized I to 0, that is 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Now if I initialize I to 1 and execute it again, we are getting 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, that is natural numbers from 1 to n, and this is using static inputs. Now let's comment out all this and let's try with dynamic inputs. And first we have to import the scanner class, which is available in the util package. Import java.util.scanner, and make sure that the first letter of the scanner is capital, that is scanner's S is capital letter. Now let's create an object of scanner class, that is scanner input is the name of the object, and here is a new keyword. With the help of that, we are creating an object, and scanner of system.in, that is input. And now let's declare a variable I, and initial variable I of integer data type, and initialize that to 0. And let's declare another variable, that is n of integer data type, and let's take the input, that is object name dot the method name is next int, that is method available in Java, like method available in scanner class of util package in Java to take the input from an integers. So before that, let's print out to the screen, enter the value of n, something like this. And now let's write our condition, that is while I is less than or equal to n. If you want to include n, I is less than or equal to n, or if you don't want to include n, that is n minus 1, you can write I is less than n. That is system.out.println, and let's print I, and we have to increment the value by 1, that is I plus plus, and now we are executing our program. So now it will ask the value of n. So to enter the value of n, so let's say 8 and 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 is being printed. If you don't want to include 8, you can just say I is less than n, so only this will be printed. So let's type again 8, and let's see, 0 to 7 is being printed, 8 is not being printed. So that's it. And let's move on to the next question, that is printing all even numbers from 1 to the given number using for loop. So let's create a new class. Right click on day4, that is the package, and select new, then create a class. Let's say day4 underscore question 3, and make sure that the name of the class's first name is first letter is a capital letter, that is an uppercase letter, and make sure to include this public static void main method, and click on finish. And here our class is created, so we are printing the all the natural numbers between sorry all the even numbers between 1 to n. So for int I is equals to 0, I is less than or equal to, let's say we want to print natural numbers from 1 to 20, that is 0 to 20, and we are incrementing I plus plus. And now here we get the conditional, because we need to print natural numbers, and if I mod 2 is 0, that is if the remainder is 0, then only we can say it is a natural number. Let's say sys out system.out.println I, and let's execute the program, and we will get, so 0 2 4 6 8 10 12 14 16 18 20. So this is the question to print natural numbers from 1 to n, that is 1 to 20. So let's do using dynamic input, that is let's import the scanner class, which is available in the util package of Java, that is java.util.scanner, and let's create an object here, that is scanner input is equals to new scanner of system.in, that is input. And now let's declare int n is declare a variable n of integer data type, and let's use object name to access, and the dot operator to invoke the method of which is available in the scanner class, that is nextInt, to take in input from numbers, that is integers. And before that you can just type enter the value of n, and let's say I is the logic will be same, that is for int I is equals to 0, I is less than or equal to n, and I plus plus. And here we will get the condition if I mod 2, that is 0 mod 2 is 0, yes true, so it will print I. Otherwise if 1 mod 2 is true, no, it's not true, so that's why it won't print I. We didn't give any else part. So let's execute the program, and now it's asking the value of n, enter the value of n, let's say 9 0 2 4 6 8. 9 is like I is less than or equal to n here, but 9 mod 2 is not equal to 0, it is equal to 1, so it's not being printed. So let's say n, enter the value of n, let's execute again, let's say 100, we'll get 0 2 4 6 8 10 till 20, all even numbers from 0 to 20 are, I mean 0 to 100 are being executed. So let's go to the next question, that is printing the multiplication table of a given number. So let's create a new class, that is right click on package, select new and click on class, and let's name it as day 4 underscore question 4, and make sure that the first letter of the class name is an uppercase letter, and let's select the public static void main method here and click on finish. So here our package is like our class is created day 4 question 4 under the like package day 4, and now let's print out the multiplication table of a given number. So first let's print out, like let's import the scanner class which is available in the util package of Java, that is java.util.scanner, that is, and make sure that scanner says is a capital letter. And now let's create an object, that is scanner object name, that is input, that is new keyword, and scanner of system.in, that is input. So first let's print out something to the screen, that is enter the value of n, or let's say which table you want print, and let's say let's declare a variable n of integer data type, and let's take the input, that is input dot nextInt, which is a method available in a scanner class of util package. And now let's write our main logic. So for int I is equals to 0, that is I is less than or equal to 12, because we are printing from 0 to 12. That is, suppose if you want to print the value of, like if you want the table of 3, we are printing from 0, 3 into 0 till 3 into 12, that is 36, and we are incrementing I plus plus, and we are printing out here, I mean we are displaying here, that is first we are displaying n plus into plus I plus is equals to plus n into I, that is when I is 0, 3, that is n, in our case if we take the input as 3, that is 3 into 0 is equals to 3, I mean sorry, 3 into 0 is equals to 0, and then again if the value gets incremented, that is I is, when I is equals to 1, 3 into 1 is equals to 3, like that. Let's execute the program and you will get to know. So which table you want to print, so let's say the 3 only, and let's execute. 3 into 0 is 3, and 3 into 1 is equals to, sorry, 3 into 0 is 0, and 3 into 1 is 3. It goes on till 3 into 12 is equals to 36. Let's execute this again, and which table you want to print, let's say 9, and let's click on enter. 9 into 0 is 0, 9 into 1 is 9, 18, 27, 36 till 9 into 12 is equals to 108. So that's it for today, and make sure you try out these homework problems, that is how to calculate the sum of natural numbers from 1 to n, and a program to display the factorial of a given number, and program to display the Fibonacci series of a given number. And I'll try to share the solutions tomorrow, but make sure you practice a lot. And now let's discuss what we have learned today. So we discussed about the homework problems, that is to check whether the number is odd or even, and we wrote a program to calculate the parking charges of a vehicle based depending on the number of hours, and we'll generate a fee for them. And we wrote a program using switch case, that is, if I number a day between, like if I enter a number between 1 to 7, it prints out the day, that is, it returns the day, that is, if I enter 5 as input, if I give 5 as input, I'll get Friday as the answer. And then we discussed about loops, what are loops, and different types of loops in Java, that is, they are important concept in programming. Like the most common use of loop is to perform repetitive tasks, and they're designed to execute the block until the specified condition is true. And there are different types of loops in Java, that is for loop, while loop, and do while loop. And we discussed about these in detail, that is, while loops are executed, like they execute a block of code until a specified condition is true. And do while loop executes the code at least once. It will do something and then test the while condition. And we discussed about for loop, if you want to, like, if you have the number of iterations fixed, so we can use the for loop. And we discussed the syntax of while loop, do while loop, and syntax of for loop. And these are the practice problems we did, that is printing the natural numbers from 1 to n using for loop, and printing the natural numbers from 1 to n using while loop, and printing all the numbers from 1 to n using for loop, and displaying the multiplication table of a given number using loops. And these three are the homework questions, that is sum of natural numbers from 1 to n. And we discussed a program to display the factorial of a given number, program to display the Fibonacci's of a given number. So that's it for today. And if you haven't joined any of the WhatsApp group, please join. And the attendance link will be posted in the chat box. And the PPT will be uploaded in the WhatsApp group. Please like, share, and subscribe. So thank you for watching.